Well, for decades, thousands of highly skilled Indians have followed the same path. They studied hard, got a job in America's biggest tech companies, paid all the taxes, bought homes, and built families. They believed that if they worked honestly and followed every immigration rule, one day they would receive the green card. But for many, that day never came. Instead, they found themselves trapped in an immigration system where they kept on waiting longer and longer. Some have already spent more than a decade waiting. Others fear that they may have to wait even longer. The biggest reason behind this problem is America's employment based green card backlog. Under the current system, every country is subjected to annual limit on employment based green cards. Since India sends a large number of highly skilled professionals to the US every year, thousands of Indian applicants end up waiting in extremely long queues. Even after getting an approved employer sponsorship, many employees they continue renewing their H-1B visas year after year before their green card simply does not arrive. Now, a new proposal introduced in the US House of Representatives is giving many families fresh hope. That's right, lawmakers have proposed updating a little known part of the Immigration and Nationality Act called Registry Provision. Under the current law, this provision applies only to the people who have been continuously present in the US since January 1st, 1972. Now, as you can imagine, that date, it makes the law almost meaningless for today's immigrants because it excludes nearly everybody that is currently living and working in America. Well, the proposed legislation, it wants to change that completely. Instead of using a fixed date from more than 50 years ago, lawmakers are suggesting a rolling 7-year rule. In simple words, people who have maintained continuous legal physical presence in the US for at least 7 years, they could potentially become eligible to apply for PR under the updated registry system. If such a proposal ever becomes a law, then it could completely reshape the future of thousands of long term immigrants who have spent years contributing to the American economy. Well, for Indians, the complication, it could be a lot. Many professionals have spent years working in Silicon Valley, Seattle, Texas, and other tech hubs while maintaining dependent on employer-sponsored visa. Every time they change the job, they worry about the paperwork. Every time layoffs happen, they fear losing their legal status. Every visa extension brings fresh uncertainty. Well, a simpler pathway to permanent residency, it would remove much of this anxiety and give the families a greater stability. This proposal, it could also bring relief to another group that has received increasing attention in recent years: documented dreamers. Well, these are children who legally entered the US with their parents on dependent visas but risk losing their immigration status when they turn 21 because they age out of the whole system before their families receive PR. Many of these young adults, they have grown up in the US, attended American schools, and they don't know anything of Indian culture. Supporters believe that immigration reforms should also provide certainty to these families. However, before anybody celebrates, there is an important reality that cannot be ignored, that this is only a proposed bill. It has not become a law. It must pass through the House of Representatives, the Senate, and finally receive the President's approval before any changes can take the effect. In Washington, many immigration bills are introduced every year, but only a small number successfully complete this long legislative journey. So, what should Indians do today? Here, the answer is simple: stay informed, but don't make life decisions based on proposals alone. Continue maintaining your legal immigration status, keep your documentations updated, and closely follow all the legislative developments. Immigration reforms often take time, and until a bill becomes a law, existing rules remain in place. So, the bigger picture is this: the fact that lawmakers are discussing such a proposal shows that the green card backlogs have become impossible to ignore. The pressure for reform, it is growing because businesses, universities, and immigrant communities all recognize that the current system is struggling to meet today's reality. Whether this proposal succeeds or not, one thing is definitely clear: the debate over America's immigration system, that is far from over.